Hello and welcome back to the final 9 holes of the 2023 PDGA Pro World Championships presented by LL Bean. Isaac Robinson has been hot. You are watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
Yeah, he's trying to go for history here. No player has ever won their first major and then proceeded to win another major within some crazy amount of time. But he's got a very good opportunity in front of him with some strokes. I mean, this card right here, they're all out of it. I mean, I don't think, well, Calvin could perhaps, but it's really that chase card that's really, they're close behind, but they have less holes to play. He's in a good position right now. If he can maintain a steady back 9, I mean, he just birdied 7 of the first 9 holes. Yeah. He did it in all sorts of ways. I mean, he was bullseye, making 60-footers. It's been impressive stuff to watch this week.
Isaac hasn't won a major for 133 days, so you know he's hungry.
It's time.
That's a long drought. No, that's a record. If he wins this one, that is absolutely a record to go from your first to your second in that short a time span.
You'll have the box here to start off the final 9 holes. And just has got to put a little angle on this Anheuser. Gets around the tree limb and bullseye.
Wow. I thought when it's contacting that tree, I'm starting to think, oh, is this too far right? No, just fine, parked. Calvin needs perfection.
And needs an ace. Let's get an ace, man. I mean, he's been doing that. Oh, my gosh, all over the place lately.
I mean, he was based for eagle on 12 last round. That's a place you could potentially make a move. How
close was this?
It's got to be just short like those ones we saw yesterday.
Yesterday, there was back-to-back.
Wow.
I mean, can we get a retrospect follow flight where we show prior rounds as well? Because that's nearly 3 exactly like that in the last 2 rounds.
I think Calvin just got to get them all. I mean,
yeah.
and maybe
the eagle.
Yeah.
And I think the chase cards are the same.
Whoa, where is this going?
Buddy.
Oh, man. How many times has he done that? Just barely squig out of bounds.
I mean, that's not.
But that's so far from the basket.
It was a terrible throw, but still, in the end, it's very close to being a bounds. And there were a few like that on the front 9 as well.
Sure. But that's a weird place to go out of bounds.
It's a good shot right there. You know, I was thinking about Isaac and thinking about all the great players that we have in the game and that we've had over the last decade as we at least it's set as we watch these amazing players play. But I can't think of anybody who is as good as he is without the crazy flare distance.
Yeah.
You know, who has that extra gear to go after the eagle.
Sure.
And I think it's fascinating to me to watch because he's doing it with just pure, consistent golf.
How about this?
You know what I'm saying?
His style of play is this kind of like looking through the mirror glass. What's the mirror, the glass mirror? As to what maybe Kenny would have been able to do in this day and age.
A crystal ball, perhaps?
A crystal ball, thank you. You know, because, anyways, chase card checking is something to think about because we discredit what Kenny would be able to do. Oh, the game was different back then, but...
Just in bounds for Oram. Really on a heater. Look at all the green on that scorecard in his last 9 holes.
Still a really awkward shot from a good drive like that. And... connecting early tree.
But look at that scorecard.
Wow.
All green, 1 gray.
Okay, we're showing it. It must be good.
Oh, it looks good.
We're showing it. It must be good.
Oh, we got excited. Yeah, yo,
a little
baby.
flashback to Greg Barsby in 2018 making a putt from the top of the hill. That was huge. Special things going on there for Matty O.
But back to Isaac, I don't know. It's just like this weird thing we're kind of seeing of, and he's not doing it with Heiser flips either. He's just putting it on angle. I've never seen anything like it. He's putting on angle and then it's just flying to the hole and there it is and it's done flying.
Yeah.
You know, it's not flipping up and then running out of steam.
Yeah.
And he's working the disc to its full potential. He's just Anheuser on there. Make the putt.
There's a few players I think in the sport right now that the players who know, the guys on tour, the commentators, the top players, they're all impressed by certain players. There's a few players that fall into that range. I think of Eagle. I think of Calvin when he's playing well. Obviously, Ricky. Isaac's one of those players as well.
This is just a great section of the course for the spectators, being up on that earthen dam, kind of holding in the lake there. Like stadium golf, you know, you're all up there. You can watch a bunch of holes being played. What a great experience. What a great venue.
Yeah, and they are lined up all the way around. That's beautiful to see.
Heavy?
No skip, no second skip.
The Meadows spot.
See if he can make his life a little easier with his approach shot. But I find that spot right there very awkward. And I think that's why Calvin's got the distance driver in hand. I think he wants to get closer to the wall to try to jump putt his way down. That's the only way that you can really feel comfortable, I think, is if you're putting down that hill. It's a lot nicer than having to throw a little half shot. Good shot for Kyle. That was a huge birdie for him, and getting back on the green numbers here. He's had a long time since his last birdie.
Good look at where our players lie. Everyone with really solid drives here.
Can we start calling lies fibs instead of, like, what's the player's fib? All right, I'm inside this. No. It's pretty bad.
Good shot there.
I'll save the jokes for a smaller tournament.
Scott.
Evan Scott inside the circle. That was a good callback, but maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Beautiful shot.
You could say like that was like the truth right there because it was so pure, maybe.
You could.
Yeah.
See, but I like that right there. Oh, it's going to fade a little bit. No,
it's perfect, yeah.
But just being able to, the opportunity to be able to do that makes the approach on this hole so much easier. That's moving to the right side. That's going to connect to early tree, and that's going to be a long look for birdie for Isaac.
How does he lay that one up? Yep.
Okay. That is a rare sight.
I think it's just way too low ceiling in that spot. And there is OB right behind it. There's rollaway potential.
But with that great drive, I mean, the rare sight is the layup, but also the rare sight is a missed opportunity from a perfect drive.
Absolutely. A really, really great spot to be.
Kyle Klein tied 8th, even with that bad stretch kind of in the middle. Gives you an idea of where they're all sitting as far as the top 10. Nobody's really dropped out of there except for Evan, so they're all kind of battling. Calvin tied 4th. Go figure, even though he's struggled a little bit. He's not sitting on 3 straight birdies. That's where you like to hit them.
You knew Kyle was going to start getting things going at a certain point. McMahon, 8 under. Matty O, 8 under through 11 holes. Those are a couple names to keep an eye on.
Hole 12, par 5, 1,055 feet, going downhill to start. They've proven this one's eagleable. So if you can get a big enough drive off and you're willing to push that second shot with a big turnover, you can get into the circle here in 2 shots. Set up that look for a 3. You feel like if you can do it, you probably should try in this moment because Isaac is up 5.
Here's another chase card check-in. Opportunity for Eagle here. Could play huge for both Eagle and Matty O, who needs strokes in a big way, and that's in Eagle position.
Absolutely.
I was just mauled down there.
Let's check in here with Anthony Barella as well, who's just going to go hyzer.
Does this get out of the trees?
Well, it must. We're showing it.
Wow, I touched him.
That is crazy amount of distance for the disc to never actually turn over. Just flip up flat straight.
Wow, what a nice
How do you move
sustained
the
turn.
disc like that?
Oh my goodness. What a beauty. What an absolute beauty.
That is silly good. AB going backhand turnover as well. A little bit sharper angle. Got to go higher.
This is a buzz.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
No. Paul, take it back.
That's a buzz.
Take it back.
Unreal.
Oh my goodness. And this is those are gonna, that's a tap in
Tap
eagle.
in, and
40.
there's another guy closer.
And that's my point with Isaac. He cannot do that.
Yeah.
He has no potential to do that. And he just doesn't need to do that. Because watch the way I'm guessing he's going to play this hole. It's going to be middle, tap in.
Yeah, 150.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Lay up the
exactly.
150 footer.
This,
Calvin, this has got to go. And it did not have
boy.
enough. OB for Calvin. And, you know, I think you guys said it right. He's got to get them all. And now
I don't think he can get to the pin from there.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's going to be par at best for Calvin.
I think Kyle does have the distance. He's going to be able to turn this over and make a run at the eagle for sure. Evan, no. And Isaac, please don't try.
Yeah. Nice turn. This is
Yeah.
going to get some serious distance.
It's going to get some distance, but I think Evans, that's still 500. This is moving
Heavy?
left. This is actually in danger of going out of bounds.
Wow.
Okay.
Chink in
I
the
was
armor.
wrong, yeah.
So it looks like Isaac, I don't think he's going for it from there. I mean,
Certainly not the
no.
pin.
So best case scenario, par. Looks like best case scenario, he's going to be losing 2 strokes to both Anthony Barella and Eagle on this hole alone.
Which is his competitors at this point. These guys are done.
And that's a good layup there. It's a blind landing zone from Calvin's perspective. Evan will be trying to cross into. Kind of a scary shot because the OB is pretty tight on that left side. But that was a really well executed turnover.
That was with a fast driver too. Is this a... looks like he's aiming hyzer. No.
Is that a mid?
Oh,
That
go
was
over.
really close to hitting that.
Yeah, that could have
Right
been
side.
a big number if he catches
Yep.
that. But in the end, well executed. He gets across. He moves it right. He should have a fairly simple par save.
And you called it. Kyle going big, trying to get the eagle.
I love this.
That is a big play. Sit. Oh my gosh. How many shots have we seen this round do that number right there?
60-footer, he landed right on that whisker. And I was saying Calvin's done, but he could save par here. You see that he's tied for second, so he won't be losing that spot.
Good shot.
Calvin is certainly not done by any means, even though he is 5 back.
Feels done to me.
Yeah, there's 6 holes remaining, and he will be still 5 back with 6 to go. But 18, if he can chip a couple away, if he's within 2 or 3 going into 18, I think that's when you're certainly right back in it because the nerves get high at that point. Kyle's eagle putt misses right.
It's a good putt right there.
Nice birdie for Evan, who has a couple in a row now. It's been a while since he's taken a couple of anything in a row. kind of going up and down. It's such a hot start. 4 in a row to start the round off, matching Isaac's pace shot for shot, but he finished the front 9, ended up losing 5 strokes in the last 5 holes to Isaac. Took him right out of it. A par save for Isaac still gives him a little bit of a comfy lead.
Yeah, really important par save. Eagle on the 13th, swinging wide, looking for big skip, getting it.
Oh, wow. That's the closest I've seen. It's hard to get something in there.
Well, you can see those trees there that he had to kind of knife his way through to end up that close.
Pretty high rollaway risk off of those trees on that heavy skip angle as well.
And the high speed as well. I mean, that came in there zipping.
2 back. Eagle McMahon. Just 1 hole ahead on the course.
When you're outfitted for all that's out there.
Even the ordinary becomes extraordinary.
So here's to taking a moment to appreciate every moment. Made outside together.
There were 5 eagles. You saw 2 of them. Also Aaron Gossage, Cupcake Jacob Cordes, and Double G Garrett Girthy.
Double G's always getting himself a little eagle
Yeah,
here and there, isn't he? We just saw them play this hole. Really, you just want to keep it on hyzer wide. I like that play. I like the wide play. Stay away from the mandatory on the left-hand side. Push it into that gap. Find yourself in circle 1 would just be ideal. This looks like that type of idea.
Don't be too tight. A little tight, but the good rounding around the trees. That's going to be, is that outside the? No. Oh my gosh,
okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, camera. So 20-something feet obstructed for Kyle Cumming. Ooh, this is tight. And he makes the mandatory and gets a favorable roll down the hill. Can he repeat the magic from Moving Day Saturday with a huge putt that he made on this hole?
Yeah, I would think that one's going to be quite a bit easier, honestly, than the one we saw him make yesterday. That was crazy.
That was such a good putt.
This needs to get to its edge. It looks like it's doing that. Can it miss a tree? No, it can't even get down and get the skip. So that's going to be quite a lot of distance left and probably a couple trees in the way.
Isaac back at the box. When was the last time that happened?
2021.
Oh, inside everything.
Oh, you'll take that.
Come on.
You will take that. That's not the prescribed line, but it gets through all the way. Backside of the green, short putt for birdie.
How does that not fall?
Good effort.
Waiting for that Calvin magic. That's like one of those moments you feel like, all right, we're about to see it.
Good effort given. And doesn't like it out of the hand. It'll be a little work left for the par. For 4 in a row. Kyle's feeling it now.
Yeah.
Starting to find the putter. Couple of misses inside the circle for Kyle.
Yeah, you tackle those on, and he's pretty close. Yeah. There's a misfire. First real misfire on the green for Evan. He's been playing very well, putting very well this week. Oh, there's a leaner.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
Oh, it's in, but it wasn't dead center for Isaac. It's going to be a really tough walk over to 14, carding that birdie like that.
I think he might be feeling it a little bit,
Of course he is.
know?
Of course. 5 holes to go.
I like when you miss right and then you look left to try to get the basket to get in there. You're like, come on, squeeze in there.
Yep.
You know who we're going to look at. Eagle McMahon.
Look at that. Look at those scores recently.
Going backside green.
And keep in mind,
Okay, rolls a little bit on the backside.
Eagle McMahon shot a 14 under yesterday. coming from nowhere.
Yeah.
Back into the thick of this tournament, and he's looking to match it.
Wide and skippy here for Matteo. Keep in mind, Matteo played in the final round league card in the 2000 what World? 2005 World.
2005.
Some of the best players in this championship actually weren't going.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a phenomenal run of consistent great golf.
It's inspiring. It's so cool to see. It's so cool to see his name. World Championships going. I mean, 2013, 2008, 2006, 2005.
2018, he was, I think, a double bogey away from taking second.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He just shows up at the World Championships. So cool. And then in 2009, I think he was one stroke away from a three-way playoff with Josh Anton and, and Avery Jenkins.
Yeah, he was right there.
Kyle Klein finding a late heater, going for the flex play down the middle like we saw Chris Dickerson throw, and nearly matching the precision.
That's going to be a 5-piece right there. 5 in a row.
I think Philo's calling those Yahtzees.
Oh, nice.
That might be a commonly accepted bowling term. I'm not quite sure.
Wow.
Just getting through, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the riskier line. Pulls it off perfectly.
We just got to make up for that real dead stretch where we had 2 pars in a row.
And where he barely missed right in the hole. Pulled his putt right into the hole.
Calvin circles edge.
Tough 3-putt on the hole prior for Evan. It's been a tough day for him since the early starting 4 holes, and enemy at the gates knocks him down. That would be a long obstructed putt for birdie. Sometimes you get gaps though. We'll see what he's left with. A few trees very close to the basket on this hole.
Wide open.
Just fall.
Yeah, that sort of seems like it should crawl in there. Just a little bit too much of the rim.
Calvin also open look, a little bit obstruction on the right side, and he hits the obstruction. There's the Yahtzee.
He's made a few nice putts today, but I mean, that's the range that he's kind of been tapping in.
Yes.
Those birdies.
And he's 1 birdie away from our predicted winning score of 46. Oh, wait, 45. He's at the number.
No, yeah, we've been predicting 45.
Yeah, he's at the number now.
And I feel like it's a pretty good number. I don't know. Eagle's going to push it.
Yeah, there's a few holes left for Eagle to get to that number as well. I think that number has gotten a little bit lower than we once thought.
I think if he can get 17 par, get 17.
Yep.
Pretty safe.
Yeah, I think
Get a par here because this
honestly
is a tough
could still
turnover.
do it. I mean,
yeah.
Eagle needs to get 3 out of the last 4. Not impossible, but easy.
I just
wouldn't
wish he
call
was
it
on
that.
this card.
Yeah.
I wish Eagle was on this card. I wish Matteo was on this card. I mean, I like our card, don't get me wrong. But it would be so cool to have that drama play out in front of Isaac. Because right now he feels quite comfortable with this card right here, knowing still what's going on in the field.
Yeah, of course he knows the situation. Of course he hears the cheers. But yeah, a little different when it's kind
when
of
you see
right in there.
right in your face.
You're battling. Great shot there.
Kyle going for a 6-pack.
What is he?
Got a
This is
5-piece
ti-
nugget.
this is a tough little fit for a putter. See how? I mean, that is as good as you can throw it.
Just don't
Doesn't have
hit
enough
the,
turn.
He pushes a little bit deep.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
You got to push it on
C2.
that left side, and he does it. Maybe a little more Anheuser, and that gets around the corner. But, I mean, that's great for a backhand. We even see Calvin pulling it out.
Calvin going Draco. Just getting around the last tree. That was such a good throw. I've seen 3 aces on this hole at the World Championships.
Including this guy right here, correct?
That's right. He got the second ace.
Thinking about doing it again.
This one is pushed a little bit deep, but a little friendly kick from a tree. Nate getting the first ace on this hole, and then who was the third?
I can't remember his name. Someone that was playing.
Cody Larson.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, pulls that one. Didn't like it right away.
Surprisingly errant. Not that we expect to make all those, but that one was way off for his standard. Good birdie for Evan.
And that was good news for Eagle. Helps his chances for
Yes,
sure.
Yes. And I think it's all the pressure, all the nerve stuff we've been talking about. If you're Isaac right now, how can you not be just running scenarios in your head? And you're like, okay, so I missed that. They all gained on me. If I were if I were to par the next, it's hard to turn any of that off. And maybe you don't even want to. Maybe you just kind of have to gut it out. Maybe you have to fight through that. Not saying that you should play clueless, but everything about disc golf and sports in general gets a lot harder when the stakes are so obvious and the stakes are so high, and you have an opportunity to write your name in the history books. You have an opportunity to change your life, have one of the most memorable days of your entire life. Tough.
Whether I'm on the course or behind the camera, there's one thing driving me forward: the shot. The shot that no one else thinks about or would even dare to try. The shot that people will remember, that tells a story. For me, that's what disc golf's all about. Introducing the time lapse, the first 12-speed featuring gyro over mole technology, and the first disc in the Simon line. Coming soon.
This is the one to get through.
Yeah, I mean, of the two, we talked a lot about 18. This one is maybe just a hair less dangerous, but it can certainly bite you in a big way, especially if you get caught up in that right side. And you don't even have to throw a bad shot to get there, really.
Totally.
A root reaction, a little contact with that left side wall, you can find yourself pretty deep in there, and it often will take more than one shot to get out to a place where you can go for the basket.
Let's get a chase card check in with Matty O. Glass is fully off.
They're on a wild ride. Every time he plays, those glasses are just...
Can you walk up the fairway? I think on the tee pad that's about 20 feet farther up the fairway is the only place that could be better than where Matty O's drive landed.
Look at that late flip, running down the hill, down at the bottom, a little bit rooty.
Yeah.
Certainly in business.
Eagle flipping up. Look at this thing staying straight.
This is crushed.
Past the cameraman.
Whoa.
No way.
I have never heard of that.
That's an unduplicated result.
He just drove the whole tunnel. That's crazy. Out of bounds.
And that's a
Horrible
huge
break, yeah.
It
huge,
is.
horrible break for Eagle at that moment. That shot was just so beautiful.
I mean, he has a great chance to save par, but par is not the number that you're interested in this moment with trying to chase down the guy you're trying to chase down.
Matty O would like that to be closer, but if that putter's been on, and I'm imagining it's been on for the score he's shooting right now, he's got to look at it, though.
I can't believe what we just saw from McMahon. Driving the entire tunnel. I don't think I've ever seen anyone within 30 feet.
Not many people ever have. Most people are just going mid-range there.
He probably did too.
Huge putt for Matty O.
Wow. Just charging.
This man is electric. Speaking of charging.
Yes, Barella in there as well.
Just kind of quietly doing it, these guys, you know? Eagle back there, we've had a few check-ins with him, and he's just outdrove the green, but they're all three at 42 now.
Wow.
That's a big move.
Barella has been a major player at the majors this year.
Yes.
I wonder, is there any chance we see somebody try to drive the 18th? We've kind of seen that potential from some guys. It's insane.
Okay.
But are you going to be put in a position, if you're Barella or you're McMahon, is there going to be a scenario that you would roll the dice and try to
For the
apply
win.
that one more
There are
stroke?
scenarios that can unfold for sure where that could.
I think an interesting element to that is this is an absolute beaut if it can get off that right side.
Yeah.
And an interesting element to that is now the potential in money, though.
Sure.
$5,000 between
20,000.
second, third,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fourth.
Yeah, it's hard to just play around and try to go for the
Exactly.
win when you're just going to give away.
And it's unlikely that you pull it off, and it's unlikely it even counts, maybe. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh, that is
Wow.
a gift from the forest gods.
Talking about 16, though, compared to 18, I feel like 18's pretty easy to play for bogey. This one is not.
That's true.
Isaac looked a little tentative when he striped that
Yeah.
tee shot
Does
right
this
down the middle.
Stick to the side, though. This can
It
take
does.
away your backhand.
Yeah, it could, but that's just such a clutch drive there to keep it in the
Yes.
middle.
Yeah, it was a great shot. I think he is going to have the room to swing, but another 8-10 inches over to that left side.
This is. Wow, I
much
thought it was a good
turn.
angle, but it's just too much turn.
Or not enough stability.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I mean, I like the idea of working a flex shot there for Evan. Just maybe
How
didn't grab
aggressive
it.
is this going to be? Very.
I mean, why not? He's kind of in a nice
Yeah,
spot.
absolutely.
Oh, boy.
That's just insurance. Just insurance strokes. Every time he does something like that, it just makes it easier and easier for him to do whatever he wants on 17 and 18.
Oh, I mean, you would love to walk to 18 with a couple shots. He's got
Calvin
a
pulls
chance
this.
to do that.
Pulls this right. Does it have the stability? Yes, it does. A little off balance there. Those mulch piles in the fairway can get a little slick. Kyle would be going standstill to avoid any sort of slip issues. Such a long tee shot. He's really afforded him the opportunity to do that. And I love the release.
Wow.
Good opportunity to go 7 for the last 7.
Wow, that is incredible power
Yeah.
from that stance. Accuracy, too, just to be able to put that much behind it.
That's why he's one of the top 10 players in the world.
And I would almost say somehow underrated as well. Like, he just does it sort of quietly. He's not the first name that pops to my head when I think about the dominant players.
Yep.
But he deserves to be right up
Sure.
in there. I mean, his track record at the majors speaks for itself.
Just place it in there, man.
Whew. Gosh, another one for Isaac. Obviously, everything is in his hands here. He's in the driver's seat. The hands are at 10 and 2. He's driving very safe down the middle of the road. And if he can get through these next 2 holes, there's nothing anybody can say about anything.
Kyle is... Putt is just the one thing that's really let him down this round because he's given himself so many
Yeah.
opportunities. 3 inside the circle is just not going to get it done in this scenario.
Made a lot of good putts, too, but
Sure.
you're right. Lead card, world championships, you knock them all down in the circle. None of those can leak.
Still a good stretch over the last 7, having six birdies.
See how these chasers play the 17th. I expect they should be getting pretty close here. Pretty simple hyzer. Matt makes easy work of it. These guys absolutely have to have this, and they need some help from Isaac at this point.
And inside line for Barella. Tiny bit of skip, and he's parked.
Higher and sharper, as Eagle almost always does when compared with his card mates. Out on that right side, but makeable. How many under is this guy in the last 2 days? insane.
And it looks like they're all going to be at 43, tied up. Now that takes away from the big scary play that
Yes.
we really want to see them
Yes.
go for the big shot. We've seen Calvin do it in the past. We've seen Nico Locastro throw a shot inside C2 with a big turnover.
Yes. It's
But-
$10,000 between second and fourth. $10,000 difference to play for among those three guys.
Yeah.
Tough decision.
And we just saw it. Hole 17, par 3, blind around the corner, 390, but it gets there with a 300-foot effort. Just got to pick a spot in the background and let the disc fall.
And this one does dish out a couple bogeys here and there. This is
Absolutely.
not an easy one. There is out of bounds. You can push it deep really easy, and then the putt, it's obviously the highest one that we put on the whole tournament.
We saw an infamous one in 2018 with Josh Anthon. Not a bad-looking shot, just picked up and rolled left OB.
The last thing you want to do is hit any part of the basket or the base with your drive, I think, because that's what's going to start that rollaway happening. I think that big shot we're all dreaming of on the 18th, it doesn't matter. No one's going for it if Isaac takes care of business here, because then you can't even really hope for
Yeah, there's no point. Because
anything.
then you're certainly playing with the... the only thing you would be doing is trying to break the deadlock tie with a big eagle.
Yes, not a smart move.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go really inside with this shot, too.
Pretty outside.
Up the middle, but
Yeah.
does it have the height?
I think
That's
it's fine.
Oh, it's better than fine.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
He's like, oh, how about Nate? How about I hit it twice?
Yeah, I'll just
Your
hit it.
rollaway.
Yeah,
How about
I'll
I just hit it
it.
twice?
If you don't hit the bucket once,
Yeah.
hit it
when you're
2
that
times.
flat, I mean, you kind of can get away with it. I think more of this big high line, if that comes in and makes the wrong kind of contact.
Smack, smack.
But that's, I mean, his is just coming in
Oh.
with nothing on it.
Our editors lost an opportunity there. That had 2 smacks, and they only gave us 1 smack. The little foxes, and I'm not happy about it.
Ooh, this is wide.
Hey,
I don't like it.
okay,
It's okay.
but he's going to be challenging the thing that's been hurting him the most. Yeah. That'll do. And that's the same thing that we saw there with Isaac, the double tap. Yeah. Okay, come on. You have an opportunity for redemption.
I don't know if it tapped.
It tapped the first time. Tap.
Squirt.
Tap.
I don't
Oh
think
my
it,
gosh.
I don't think it tapped.
Beautiful
Either
shots.
time.
Beautiful shots.
0 taps.
I want redemption.
All right, Kyle. He's sitting in a tie for 7th right now. That goes a
That's
long
big.
ways.
That's a good
right
one.
there.
Yep. All the money at the World Championships this year, there is so much that can be gained and lost from one stroke. It doesn't make a difference when you're in 25th place, but when you're in the top 10, each one of these misses is the difference between steak and ramen.
Nothing wrong with ramen. I like ramen.
No offense to ramen.
Enjoy some ramen.
It's got me through many a night. Last hole, guys.
47 under.
He's got 4 strokes to work with.
4-shot lead.
And
The
this,
only thing he can't do is go be right.
yeah,
the
and that
only thing.
exactly. And this is like, just throw it into the
I mean, yeah, you could throw it in.
Tense.
You could absolutely defend that play.
exactly.
If he
yeah.
wants to just pitch it left, I think he's a little too clean
yes, he's
to
too
do
good,
that.
yeah.
But you could absolutely. I mean, if it's Simon, I think we would see that move. He's shown us that he's not above an intentional OB when the situation calls for it.
Keep in mind, Isaac played first round in absolutely torrential downpour.
And destroyed.
And birdied a bunch. And let's take a look at the way that our chase card tries to see who can take second place.
So much to play for these guys. And I mean, some of the guys on our lead card are not totally out of this if there's a misstep from any of these 3 players. Super high from Anthony,
Really taking a
overstable.
lot off. That's a fine shot. Just quite short for AB, but
You just don't need any more.
He doesn't need any more.
This also looks good. Just needs to keep getting stable. That should dig. Absolutely.
Perfect lines for all 3 players. AB will be first on the approach. Let's call it 320 feet.
This looks nice. Got nice hyzer.
Oh, so good. Bullseye for Anthony Barella.
He says, I'll take second right now. Let's see if you guys can match me.
He's secured it.
Mm-hmm.
The worst he can do is second place.
Eagle.
Looks good as well.
Yeah.
It's got to curl.
No way.
Don't do that. Don't be that.
Unreal.
That's a terrible roll.
That is so bad.
Oh, that is brutal.
That is thousands of dollars
And that,
gone
and that,
from
that wasn't too fast. It was hitting in right close.
Okay.
This one is fast.
Oh, no.
And a terrible roll. Wow.
AB is going to take second place by himself. Now a good old-fashioned putt-off between Eagle and Matty O.
Oh, man.
That is so hype. Oh, my God. Matty O, you are a classic entertainer, my friend.
It really is.
Gosh. Easy fan favorite. Let's go. Yes. I love that man. But AB, chase card second place.
44. What a week. Taking selfies. No, I think he's trying to get a little look at those mountains. Commit a little of this to memory.
And checking the scores. Making sure that he can be like, yeah, I can throw it in the tents and then throw it into the hole 1 over there.
Calvin, Champ Halo boss.
Yeah, keeps it in bounds.
Nice to see a gift flying here at the World Championships. Here it is.
Has height. I think that's all we needed to see.
Yep.
And I know you guys were wanting him to throw B left, but he's just going to keep it in the middle instead.
That's smart play.
Yeah, it just needed height. I mean, if he does that, you can see it right here. He knows.
Man, I would give anything in the world for the feelings that he is experiencing right now.
And this is his dad on the bag, correct?
That's right.
That's awesome.
What a special moment. Special walk.
Obviously, his brother's going to be right here.
Oh, and he
As
put
well.
himself
He's been playing
together.
amazing.
Incredible. I think a 13 under final round.
Amazing round. Good drive.
Just to say, hey, bro, I know you won Worlds, but I beat you the last round. Don't forget that.
You're only as good as your last round.
You guys both have 1,000 rated brothers at one point. Those bragging rights are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ow. That's an ankle biter
that
right there.
will
Oof.
sting ya.
Around Evans, definitely going to want to forget here, but also one he needs to learn from. A lot of different feelings I'm sure he had coming into today and going out of today.
Just looking to stay in bounds here. Not a lot of incentive to push distance.
Oh,
This
that's
is a little tight.
That's a lot of tight. But it's down the middle, and
Yeah.
he can kick the disc a few times from now to the basket if he wants. I don't think he will, but
You can see him just probably the legs just feeling a little bit,
Yeah, wobbly.
a little bit shaky in this moment.
Evan, a lot of speed,
Yes.
going to the right side. Can it sit? Yeah. He'll have that one for a nice par save if he can drop that.
Pretty low.
High
Short.
speed, skip short, and don't think he's going to love the amount of distance he has between him and the basket. I'm sure he'll be checking scores to see how important that putt is, though.
Well, him and Calvin are tied right now.
Calvin with a little flex shot. Oh, that's nice. Down right, just slightly. Oh, we're just putting now.
I like that. Putt, putt.
But put it close. Okay.
He's going to put that one
He'll
close.
lay that one up.
Mm-hmm.
He'll lay that one up. Is he going to shoot 11 under with 2 bogeys?
Yes.
Yeah, listen to the crowd. What a show.
And Kyle does indeed lay it up.
Don't need that one.
He's going to mess up his in the circle stats again, though.
Hate the play. I hate the play.
World champion.
Yes.
Don't let the beard fool you. A young man.
That's right.
22, I believe. 2 majors. Champions Cup in dominant fashion. Worlds in close enough to it. Close enough to dominant.
First player ever, or the quickest player to win their second major after winning their first. 133 days between Champions Cup and the World Championships. Isaac Robinson, it's all about you.
There is his brother.
Incredible. Tears are flowing.
Ezra's wife right there. Family love. It's something the Robinson family has got in droves. And there's the gang right there. Gavin, Gannon, Alden. Some talented friends.
Isaac Robinson, one-time world champion. How does that sound?
I don't even know. It doesn't feel real. I didn't ever think this would happen, so I'm soaking it all in, and it's not going to feel real for a while. I felt pretty comfortable through the front 9. They eagled hole 12, and I was like, oh no. It goes from 4-5 to down to 2. Well, Dad told me, he's like, just get 3 more birdies, and I was like, just counting them down. So 13, 14, and then 16, and then 17 was the cherry on top.
Did you ever envision yourself as a world champion, being here in this moment?
Not at all. Never. I don't even think it crossed my mind. I was just trying to soak in the moment and look at just the thousands of people out here. I want to sear that into my mind and just have that forever. I just want to say thank you guys so much. Thank you to Prodigy. Thank you 1010 Discs. I want to say thank you to the entire state of Georgia. They've been messaging me, fans, people I've grown up playing with. This one's for you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I love you.
Isaac Robinson, your 2023 world champion. Hey, man. Super proud of you. Nice work.
What a tournament. 46 under, ends up taking it by 2 over Barilla. McMahon and Oram with the huge clutch putts share that podium spot. 13 unders for both of them. And you can see the whole rest of the top 10 right there. So many great players. Alden Harrison 6th. Kyle Klein there as well. Proctor with the 13 to get into that top 10. Macbeth, there he is. 13th, never quite got it going in the way that I'm sure he hoped he would.
Raven Newsom, B-Pole player, top 20 finish. Congratulations to him for an extraordinary week. But yeah, I mean, aside from the weather we experienced round 1, pretty beautiful experience up here in Vermont. And
Yeah.
it's you get a little bit teary. I think I do when I see the family all embrace Isaac like that. It's just it's pretty special. I know he's got a really great relationship with his brothers and the sisters and the family. They follow him and they support him. And like you said, Ezra's out there kicking some butt too.
Yeah, I think when I think of Isaac's year, we've been talking about how great Calvin is and how consistent he has been. Isaac's in second in the points race. He just wins the World Championship. He won the Champions Cup. I think there's a guy challenging for that first spot, and that's Isaac Robinson. I mean, that's a statement win right there if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely.
In dominant fashion. It never looked like anybody was close. It really didn't. It was 2 strokes, but he had control of the tournament the whole entire time, exactly the way that he did at the Champions Cup. And when you got a player who can hold a lead like that, look out in the coming future, because I think he's going to get more of them.
I do too. Just want to close by saying thank you to all the volunteers, all the people here at Smugs, the PDGA, the Disc Golf Pro Tour, all the media members, all the players, all the fans. It was a great venue. It was a great World Championship. Congratulations to Isaac Robinson, your new PDGA Professional World Champion for 2023. That's it for us. Thanks to you guys. It was a fun week. We'll see you for the next one at the MVP Open.